Now to the breaking news overnight. The January 6th committee releasing its final report. Our team read through the more than 800-plus pages overnight, breaking down the new findings from the 18-month investigation into the insurrection and former President Trump's actions around it. Chief Washington correspondent Jon Karl joins us this morning. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, Juju. The January 6th committee's final report details Donald Trump's plan to overturn the 2020 presidential election, and it recommends that he not be allowed to run for office ever again. In its 845-page final report, the January 6th committee says the violence that day was the fault of one man. The crescendo of Donald Trump's, quote, multi-part plan to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Capping 18 months of investigation, the January 6th committee's report lays out that plan in meticulous detail, mirroring their dramatic public hearings and offering some additional new details, making several recommendations, the boldest, that Donald Trump and others who engaged in insurrection be disqualified and barred from holding government office.
No man who would behave that way at that moment in time can ever serve in any position of authority in our nation again. He is unfit for any office.
The committee's recommended reforms include changes to the law on certifying the presidential election and increased penalties for threatening that process and for threatening election workers. Over the course of 8 chapters, the committee describes Trump's plan, from his constant lies about election fraud that his own advisors repeatedly told him were false, to the pressure he and his allies put on nearly 200 state-level officials to overturn the election results. When that effort failed, Trump then turned to his supporters.
In the end, he summoned a mob to Washington, and knowingly they were armed and angry, pointed them to the Capitol and told them to fight like hell.
The report is a roadmap not just for the American public, but for history and for prosecutors. The committee is also releasing thousands of pages of transcripts of witness interviews and other evidence. The committee says it hopes its final report and its public hearings are just the beginning, an initial step. They have also recommended criminal charges for Donald Trump and others in his inner circle. Of course, that decision is entirely up to the Justice Department, which has its own investigation well underway. Will?
That historic initial step. Jon Karl, thank you very much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.